Hey guys, welcome to the Color Me Mike podcast. So just a quick disclaimer up here at the top. Anything said during this podcast only reflects on me and or the guest. Sonity has nothing to do at all with anything that's being said here. Sonity is just a cool boba milk tea shop in Fremont, California that is kind enough to let us record the podcast here at their shop and kind enough to hook us up with some boba milk tea drinks. So everybody just chill and enjoy the episode. So you're saying you have a movie idea that you pitched to Wally?
Yeah, like we were talking the other day about it, and just like trying to do a bunch of other writing ideas and stuff like that. And the writing group we did on Zoom, and
Who attended that? Just you and Wally? Or
Tosh, she was.
I know
in
Tosh
on it,
is
yeah.
really interested in that stuff.
Yeah, like Tosh, she's big into. She's doing a lot more skits too and stuff like that on Instagram, stuff like that. And what else? Like we just talked about different like jokes and stuff like that we were working on, and the show that Wally's got going with Brick and Mortar or whatever, he's trying to get the new date for that right there. All right, let's try this.
So that, see where this little red cap is? You can remove that if you want to taste the topping by itself real quick, if you want to take a sip. But eventually you're going to want to shake the whole thing up. But if you want to just give the topping a try, so you got the brulee Thai latte there.
Pretty good.
Yeah, no, this place is great, man. And now you can just shake the whole thing up and put the straw in. I would
try it at the bottom. It's pretty good.
Yeah, no, just like I said, my wife and I do boba diaries and review places all over the Bay Area, and this is one of the gold standards.
Nice.
Definitely not as, yeah, so you're saying you're pitching a movie to Wally.
Yeah, like so. I wanted to do like an idea of kind of like the stuff I work in, like my day job, I work on boats and stuff like that, and something.
I thought you worked on cars.
No. I'm a boat motor tech. Like I'm an outboard technician, and so I'm wanting to kind of incorporate a little bit of that, but also like make an action movie in a way. Like so, this writing about a guy. All right, so like a comedy action movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts out as a guy. He's shown up to work. He's got it's not like a dead end job. I mean, he's got a job. He's got a dickhead for a boss and stuff like that. And he's a boat washer. He's a boat detailer. But they make pretty decent money. But he's washing like these badass boats in Miami, like these nice yachts and stuff like that. These cigarette boats and sometimes drug runner boats. Well, he was scheduled to go wash a boat that morning. He shows up and it's a drug runner boat. And the story kind of goes from there. Like it's they were running the drugs to Miami. A lot of gunfire action going on and stuff like that. A lot of fighting back and forth. The dudes are almost dead, and then he's like, "Hey, you're gonna take these drugs. You need to deliver them." He's like, "There's no ifs and buts about it. You need to do this job, and then you can be in this." So hey, and it's kind of like almost like a rise to fame story.
It's like a comedy action movie, yeah.
And then he's got the people who were trying to kill the people in general to start with. They're going to be going after him now.
Now you pitched it to Wally with the idea that he's going to help you write it, or just kind of like bouncing board brainstorming.
Like just kind of throwing out, seeing if it's actual likable, seeing like what I've wrote, like kind of like a pitch, like a scene that I wrote is actually even interesting to other people. So
yeah, I guess I should introduce you. Clayton Mosley, local stand-up comic here in the Bay Area. I guess that's one thing people don't know about you. You told me before you actually won an award for writing back in high school, right?
Yeah. I was it was like second place in like state of Alabama, even though it's Alabama.
That's the whole state still.
So like it was a short story competition, and I don't even know if I even have the story. I've tried looking for it before, but I can't even find it in my house.
You remember what it was about?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What was it about?
I would say this noggin's like a steel trap. It was
despite all the drugs, it's still like a steel trap.
No, so what it was, it was about a guy. He shows up at a pawn store and he's looking around. He sees a guitar and he falls in love with this guitar. Like it's just like basically it's meant for him to have this guitar. And then the owner,
You realize you said guitar in two different ways.
guitar and guitar.
You said guitar, now
Guitar.
you're saying guitar. It's like, which way is
Oh,
it for
man, it's
you, man?
guitar. All right, so like a 6-string guitar. All right, so he's like, he sees his guitar and he's like, man, I gotta have this. And he picks it up and he starts playing. It's like, it's just his fingers are magical to it. It's like anything he hits is it's gonna shred. The owner says, y'all says, I mean, you gotta give me something in return. So basically, the owner was the devil,
Yeah,
and he's selling his soul. But he's like, hey, whenever he came and knocking for it, after he done give him fame, fortune, everything he wanted, he didn't want it no more. Like, or the guy with the guitar, the devil came back for him, and he's like, fuck you. Kind of give him that like vibe. He's like, nah, I don't want to even be around you no more. And I was okay. He got in a tour bus wreck that night and killed him.
Yeah, it's kind of the classic
Yeah.
premise of like, be careful what you wish for. It's not as
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not exactly what you really want. Kind of like monkey's paw kind of thing. Yeah.
And I wrote that story in like a day. Like
How old were you?
like I don't know, 16, 17. I was a junior in high school, so 16. Yeah.
16, 17, around there.
Well, I was born, or I got a summer, or my birthday's May 21st, so like right around summertime. It's like boom. I was always that kid who was the youngest in the class, but I was the biggest in the class.
So you were always tall. You didn't hit a growth spurt late in life. You were tall. Even when
Fuck,
you
I
were
was
young.
taller than the first grade teacher, man.
Oh my God.
God dang, I was a giant, man.
Well, I mean, that first grade teacher had to be pretty short too.
Oh,
though.
she was like a midget. She's like 4'9", 4'10" or something like that. She was not legally midget, but she was short.
So you were always, you must have wrecked your mom's vagina just coming out, man.
I was like 9 or like 9 pounds. I was almost a double digit baby. And I was like 2 foot long. I was like,
Is your dad a big guy too?
yeah, my dad's 6'5". His brother's
Holy
6'5".
crap.
His third brother, the one I'm named after, he was 6'6" or 6'7". He died when he was 16, and that's how tall he was.
You're
And-
6'6"?
Mm-hmm. And then I got a cousin, Dustin. He's 6'6". My sister's 6 foot. My cousin Amy, she's tall. Their little sister's tall. And then what's funny, my dad's oldest brother, he was hella short. Like he wasn't even over 6 foot, I don't think. Like
The poor guy.
he was like the shortest out of the bunch, and he was the oldest, but like I don't know, like maybe 11 months.
How tall was he?
Like 5 something, I don't know. He died back in the 90s, and then his son's short, so he got the short gene, and we all got the tall
The
gene.
little short end of the stick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 6'6", that is the height I wanted to be when I was growing up. You know why? That's how tall Michael Jordan is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wanted to be a basketball player so bad. But I remember when I first learned that the NBA players were actually tall, my brother told me about it. I had no idea, because when you're watching them on TV, you can't tell that they're that tall, because they're all that tall.
yeah, they all look big.
And I remember it broke my heart, because I knew there was no way I was going to grow up to be that tall. I knew my chances at the NBA were shot.
I mean, you could have been
already.
like Allen Iverson out there.
I knew there was no way I was even going to be this tall. Because Allen Iverson's small out there, but he's 6'1", or maybe 6 feet. Even that for me is like 5'9" on a good day.
Yeah,
Which is the average height for Americans, but for a basketball player,
You gotta
I
be
wasn't that
giant.
good where I could play at 5'9". I bet a lot of people tried to talk you to becoming a basketball player. Huh?
Oh, like when I was growing up, the basketball coach in high school, we actually had one of the #1 basketball schools in the state of Alabama in 6A, and our football team was garbage. But like, I didn't really care about sports that much. I was, like I said, I was doing like a lot of writing in high school, and I was also doing a lot of fishing. Like I fished. I used to fish bass tournaments competitively.
Yeah, those bass fishing tournaments are big.
Oh
man.
yeah, they
You can win
which
good money at those things.
I wanted to. I thought about trying to go pro in that, but I mean, like it's a lot of work going. But it's the same thing with anything you want to put into. Like it's a lot of work, and I was pretty good. It's just a lot of money spent into it.
Do you ever watch River Monsters?
Oh yeah, my dad used to love watching that
Man,
shit.
I love that show. Like, that's the show that really made me gain appreciation for fishing.
Oh
I was
man,
like, oh my god, there's strategy and technique involved. I thought you just cast your line out there and just
Oh.
wait. Like, nah,
Dude,
it's not
like-
about that at all.
dude, I'm like. I got like, all right, so there's a bunch of different baits like I like to fish with. Like, I like one of my favorite baits to fish with is a crankbait and a jerkbait. because they're so versatile. You can fish with them really fast. You can cover a lot of water with it. And also, it's a reaction bite. It's not something or crankbait, sometimes they can be feeding, they can be eating shad, and they're going to eat a crankbait. But it's usually, when it's coming through there, it's a reaction.
What do you mean by you can cover a lot of water with
You can you can fish, you can cast it really quick, and it's a quick retrieve bait. It's not something that's going to be really slow. It's not like, now I do like finesse fishing as well. Like, man, you slow down and just try to, if the fish aren't really moving, you can just take and pick them apart and make something bite. And that's pretty fun.
How about you ever try fly fishing? You know, that one that just looks like an art form and it's its own.
You ever watch? No, I've never tried that.
Runs through it?
Have you seen Run's house?
No.
Or where Rev Run?
No,
All right,
no.
so he took his family. They went fly fishing one day. He's like, man, you got to be fly to fly fish. So, yeah, I remember that.
No, but it's like an art form.
Yeah.
Cast on fly. And what's the idea behind that? The way it flicks on the water, like mimics the food of the fish, and that's why they bite.
Yeah. So what it is, it's like a So that
just
trout
became into a fishing podcast.
So like that trout is sitting there, and he sees like that's what he feeds on is like bugs, and he sees like a bug land on the water, and that water's crystal clear. It's like that's beautiful. Whenever like you fly fish areas like trouts and all that, it's crystal clear, so he can see everything, and he sees that land, and he'll run over to it, and that's what it's mimicking when you're flying like that. So
if you're catching fish, at a lake or at a stream with the idea that you're gonna eat it, what's the best tasting fish to catch?
Oh man, best tasting fish. Freshwater, I'd have to say yellowcat. Like they're flathead catfish.
Heard of that.
Catfish, they're like
Yeah, catfish is good.
So like you got blue cat. Like usually most catfish you're gonna eat is like blue cat and like in restaurants. And this is like a yellowcat. They're river catfish, and the belly on them is like a southern delicacy, man.
Ooh.
All right, so like I grew up in the trailer parks in the river, right by the river, and so that's what I was doing. I grew up fishing a lot, and my papa, he fished. My dad fished. Like we all fish. Like
For those who don't know, Papa's grandpa.
papa.
Those of us not from Alabama, I've learned through watching your stand-up, he means grandpa, folks.
But yeah, like hell, we always, man. That's how I stayed out of trouble growing up and didn't go to jail. Was stay on the river.
What I didn't realize about fishing, this really is turning into a fishing podcast, because my wife has a nephew down in Southern California, and we visit him and his family almost every year, and he's really into fishing, on the pier. And he took us fishing one time, and I just didn't realize like who you fish with makes a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea. I was like, dude, I'm Asian. I grew up here in San Jose. You're not gonna be really fishing, it's just not part of the culture. But yeah, I was like, when we went fishing with him, it was so much fun, but at the same time, it's kind of like therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great way to, pass time. And then when you finally catch some fish, like an adrenaline rush. Oh my God, something's actually biting us! Like,
Oh yeah,
it was
man.
great. I didn't realize it was that fun.
It's like a man versus beast, and like you're conquering something.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's at least like because we were fishing on a pier at the beach. It was so relaxing too, and we were just hanging out and talking to each other as well. I was like, oh wow, I see why people like this now. I get it.
Oh yeah.
I used to think it was just, a person sitting out on a boat by themselves just waiting for hours. It's like, God, why on earth would I want to do that?
And drinking cold beer.
Yeah, but if you're with good company, that's a great way to spend the day, man.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea. So I'm basically from Alabama, is what I'm saying. We're the same, dude.
Alabama. Hey, you got a rep. We got we got football coming up. College football.
I know, roll tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. When did you move to California, Clayton?
Oh man, I'm actually the 1 year anniversary is coming up. January 22nd will be a whole year out here in California.
Is it surreal to you to think that you're living in San Francisco, coming from such a small town, from Bay Minette, Alabama? Did I remember that correctly?
Yeah, Bay Minette, Alabama.
Yeah.
I came actually. That's a city like where like my address and all is. But actually, I'm from a place called White House Fork, Alabama. It's a little outskirt place, a little rural
smaller,
part.
right?
Oh yeah, the only thing they got is a water board and a fire department. They got a few churches. That's about it. Those are the biggest buildings. Oh yeah, they got the elementary school.
San Francisco must have just seemed like almost like it's a different country, almost an impossible destination to get to growing up in a place like that.
Well, I mean, hell, I didn't even know places like that existed. I mean, I watched Full House. I didn't know where the fuck San Francisco was. I mean, I watched that growing up. All I knew is they lived in I thought San Francisco was a fictional place. And I'm like, shit. But I don't know. It's like, one of the reasons like I was going to move there, I didn't even really have San Francisco on the radar. I was actually wanting to go to L.A. And well, like I'm trying to chase comedy too, and
so you already knew before you came over here that you wanted to do stand-up.
Oh yeah, and like I remember, like hell, Uncle Joey, he was a stand-up comedian. Robin Williams, he came from San Francisco, and you know, like people they say, oh, San Francisco's not a great place to go to chase comedy. I kind of really disagree. I mean, it's a lot of good opportunities here, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come out here. And it's a very nice spot.
Yeah, I mean. You know, it's funny. Do you know Mean Dave?
Yeah, Mean Dave. Yeah.
So he was the first guest this morning, and we were talking about the Bay Area comedy scene, and like people don't realize a lot of big names actually came out of the Bay Area.
Oh,
the Bay Area, like historically speaking, has been really great at developing some serious, stand-up comedy talent. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, for some reason or another, I don't know why, like that reputation hasn't really been acknowledged. Or like, internationally, at least within the comedy community, people don't really seem, because everyone thinks of either New York, Boston, or LA for the most part. I guess to a certain extent, maybe Chicago, I don't know.
Well, I mean, like Ohio, I know Ohio's getting a big scene too, because like where Chappelle, like Cleveland area.
Springs over there, yeah.
Yeah, he moved there, and I mean, like, so Ohio's getting a kind of a decent scene, but like, and in the Bay Area, you can hit so many different spots as well. And like where like New York, people say, well, you can hit so many mics a night. You're only hitting them in New York. In the Bay Area, you can hit multiple mics in a night in different cities. You can go to Oakland, you can go to San Francisco, you can go to down South Bay area. I mean, like you can be all around.
Get a good variety of audiences and really test out your material.
Exactly.
You know what? That's a good point. That's something I never thought about because. You hear it all the time. Oh, New York's a great place to really become a strong comic, right? There's so many strong comics come out of there.
Yeah.
You can do so many spots and whatnot. But that's a good point where, you're doing a lot of spots, but it is all in New York. How different are the... I mean, for all I know, maybe the audiences are going to be really different. But you know what? I mean, Kavita, right? Kavita's from New York. She was telling me, like, yes, you can do a lot of spots in New York, but one, they're all pay to play. Mm-hmm. And two, like they're like 99.9% of them are just all comics too. And you know how it is. If you're just doing your comedy in front of nothing but comics, it's really hard to gauge what's working and what's not.
I tell them to go fuck themselves when they don't laugh. I mean, like when I know that shit's funny, they're not laughing. It's because they fucking didn't think of it first. That's all it boils down to. And like, if I'm gonna go there, if I'm at open mic, I'm gonna laugh at anybody. If it's funny, I'm going to laugh. If it's not funny, I'm not going to fucking laugh. And I mean, I'm just being honest, but I'm going to laugh at stuff that's funny. Mm-hmm. And like open mics are for just testing that water, testing that new stuff out, making sure, because all of our goals, we're trying to build that more time, get more time on our sets. And that's all we're trying to do.
Is
build.
Fair to say, like you're starting to get booked on a fairly consistent basis in the city? Would it be fair to say that? Kinda, right? On the smaller independent shows. Let's say.
Right now.
Yeah. So I assume that's got to be nice just in the fact that you get to perform in front of non-comics a lot more frequently than you would be if you were just open micing.
Oh, yeah, right? Definitely. Because like, how it is, like you go to Alameda, if you don't bring a crowd, it's not going to be good. So like the other night, I actually had 8 people show up for me there.
You conned 8 people.
Nah, I didn't. I was like, hey, I'm going, and they showed up. And I mean, the more people you get, like especially come there to see you, it's going to be good. And like that's all it boils down to. And it's always tough to get laughs at that place because it's all comics sitting in that room. It's 20 plus people, but they're all comics. And like when we went to Bumps out there in East Oakland. We finally got to get up in front of a big, decent crowd and actually get to see
and get
everything.
To do more than 5 minutes.
Fuck,
You get to stretch your legs
and get to see like what it is. And but Shit, I'm lost the spot. What were we talking about?
I was just talking about how, for you, you're starting to get booked
Oh.
at independent shows, so you have the luxury of being able to perform in front of non-comics on a regular basis or more frequently than, just open mics where it's nothing but comics, right?
Well,
It's a luxury, honestly, right?
definitely. Well, like, say for example, like we were down in Pacifica the other night at Longboard. Like they did the showcase going up, and then like you got lucky and drew the first guy
I know,
out of the gate.
yeah. They had you go dead last.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh shit! Like I was I went up like after what I seen you go up, the crowd was still in it. A few other people after you, like as soon as like that, there was one chick who went up, it just went, and like all you heard at the bar was a roar, and it's like, everybody. I'm like, motherfucker, this crowd's already lost. You can just see like the tables are dwindling out, everybody's filling out. Fucking Jamar come to me, I was like, yo, am I ever going to go? He's like, yeah, man, you go up last. I was like, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that to you, man.
Oh man, that fucking.
Because that's why I hate going up late. I like going up earlier rather than late.
Yeah.
Because the audience is still into it.
Well,
at
I
that
got
point.
him back into it.
Yeah.
Like,
You had your work cut out for you, that's for sure.
Oh,
No,
man.
You did. Yeah, I liked your set. I enjoyed it because it was all new material. I hadn't heard any
oh,
of
I don't
it
even
yet.
I don't even know if I got those jokes using anymore. I got all new material.
I know, but you really cycled through your stuff really quick. And on that point, it's something I told you before. I mean, how long have you been doing it?
I guess in the Bay Area since April.
Since April. So that's about 8 months.
Yeah.
Right. I remember from the first time I saw it. I can't remember what month it was. It might have been probably as early as beginning of September.
Mm-hmm.
You evolved more than anyone I've seen. You've evolved so quickly in terms of your act. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say that because like I went from like telling like stupid ass jokes, like jokes.
You had like these long stories too beforehand, right? Yeah.
And like
now your shit is like you really tighten things up. Yeah, it's like wow. So what accounted for that evolution?
I guess like talking to people who've been in like for a while, like I was talking to like guys like for example like Patrick Ford, Alameda Comedy Club. I was talking to him, and he was like, "Hey, you gotta write original stuff, man. Nobody wants to hear those jokes that have been told before. Nobody wants to hear the stuff that's already been told. They want to hear that new shit. They want to hear your stuff." It's not like okay. So I've just kind of been rewriting a lot of my stuff and more personal stuff too, like more stories about my life. And kind of like what I like to do now is like get up there and I'm venting. Like it's like me just venting. I want to tell the audience, hey, I had a terrible date the other day. I want to tell you all about this shit. Because you know what? Everybody's had a terrible date. It's something somebody can relate to. And that's another thing I've been trying to work on too is writing more relatable stuff so I can get the crowd into it and stuff. And I don't know, just interesting stories too. So,
How often do you write?
huh?
How often do you write?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. If you're not writing every day, what are you doing on the surf? I mean, like if you're not trying to come up with new ideas, anything, like even if I write a sentence down to a joke or even an idea that pops up in my head, I got that idea down and I know it's right there and I can go back to it. And like,
It's very like Seinfeld is famous for that, right? Where he did this thing where every day he would write one joke and he had a calendar, he would X it out.
mm-hmm.
So you kind of have the same approach, a similar one, where even if it's just a sentence that's a premise that you can go back to later. That's interesting.
Kind of. I never watched Seinfeld. That was a generation before me, and I wasn't too big into that. I was more like I guess one of my favorite like writers and all is Will Forte, and writers and actors.
Man.
Dude,
That guy is hilarious.
have you seen the MacGruber?
I haven't.
All right, so you remember MacGruber back in SNL
I never saw the movie. I wanted to. I didn't get around to seeing it.
So like I remember watching fucking SNL like as a kid in my papa's house in the trailer park. 'Cause you only got 3 channels. You got 3, 5, 10, and by God, I had to keep it on. No, we had 15 too, so it was 4 channels. You had 3, 5, 10, 15. I was able to watch SNL every Saturday Night Live, and so yeah, and like in Alabama too, so you get to watch it. It's at 11 o'clock instead of midnight. But even hell out here, it's earlier than that. So It's pretty cool.
MacGruber.
MacGruber. Fucking Maya Rudolph comes on. She's singing. All right, so the first episode, they just came out with this back in December 16th. It's on Peacock. And,
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, they're coming.
I kind of binge watched all of it last night.
Did you do a free trial on Peacock?
No, I paid for that shit. I gotta watch I'm a big Office fan. Huge Steve Carell fan too. I always watch him, and just like just the guys like they bring energy, man, and like it's crazy energy they bring on like when they perform, and that's like what I like to do. I like running up on the stage. I'm like a fucking racehorse waiting for it to go on stage sometimes. Like, you sit in that shoe, you're just all jittery and shit. That's the way I am. I'm excited to get up there.
You feel you changed that way too? Did you think you were a little lower energy to begin with?
I was fucking scared to death.
Yeah.
Like, I was nervous because I didn't know how people were going to react to my stuff. Like when I first started doing comedy, and actually right before the pandemic, like a few weeks before the pandemic happened, I was doing theater before that. I was doing theater acting and just like working with the community theater, and then like doing like few gigs that are like paid acting gigs
in
theater.
Know that. Oh.
And we've done a few shows that are pretty cool. And I will get to that in a second. But what was
put a note on that.
What was where were we at before the theater?
Oh no, we were talking about your energy, right?
Like bringing the energy.
No, we're talking about how did that evolve because you were so nervous before.
Oh yeah, like man, cause I've been doing a comedy, and before I moved out here, I was doing comedy at Pensacola, Florida. There was a few open mics I was hitting there, and
Pensacola, good Daytona spot, right?
No, man. All right, so like Pensacola, so Florida's shaped
Daytona
like.
is a different state, but I'm talking about NASCAR, right?
Yeah, NASCAR. So like Florida, so Pensacola is like right up here, and Daytona is way down yonder.
I didn't even say Daytona, I meant NASCAR.
Oh yeah. Well, they got a famous Five Flag Speedway there. That they got the Snowball Derby they have every December. And it's a lot of guys who end up going into NASCAR. They race there.
You into NASCAR at all?
No, fuck no.
I never got the appeal to that. I like racing, but
it's fun to go to.
They're in a fucking circle. It's
like, yeah,
man.
Well,
where's the excitement there?
The when they wreck, that you just seem like a wreck. I mean, like
you're just hoping for a wreck.
So like I've been to Talladega before. Talladega's pretty fun.
What makes it fun? As someone who's never been.
It's loud. The cars are crazy, like the wrecks. You're watching the wrecks, and like you're getting to see like
the wrecks.
Like high speed, man. It's like something going over 200 miles an hour. And what's funny is like if a car falls behind, you're hearing past like, and you hear, you hear this one car go by. It is fucking funny as hell.
I guess that is one thing to think about. Like because on TV, it doesn't translate how fast they're going.
No,
it looks like they're going slow as fuck. But in person, you can really appreciate the speed they're going.
They're fucking booking it, man. It's badass. But back to the interview.
But you're not really into NASCAR.
Nah, my dad, he used to be like, but I like other kind. I'm a big football fan too, and but yeah, the back to Pensacola though, that's where I like started doing comedy at. When the guy, he been on the LA scene for a little while, and I kind of talked to him. He's like, just keep writing jokes. So they try to use like where I used the miracle joke we're talking about where I got arrested.
Okay.
And like shit, write about stuff you know. That's another thing. Like I've learned, like writing is write what you know. Don't try to write something that's out of your realm or something that you're not accustomed to. And if you write something that you know, hey, you can't forget it. And it's a personal story. So I mean, or not personal, but I don't know. Just
it's coming from within.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more truthful.
Exactly.
It's gonna have more impact.
Exactly. And what else?
Because if we're gonna get into the stereotypes of what people think of rednecks or people from the South, NASCAR is definitely.
Oh yeah.
Like all the liberals thinking like, you must love NASCAR. Huh?
They got like NASCAR and shit, but no, I do like sports. Like I said, I like football, baseball, stuff like that.
College football is big, especially in Alabama. Come on, you guys have one of the best programs in history of college football, of course.
Oh, most definitely. Alabama, let's say, shit, I'm repping them today. Because we're going for the back-to-back. So I'm wearing the back-to-back champions.
So you're one of those wee people. You're part of the team.
No, I'm not a problem. I'm not a part of the problem. I'm just I'm a fan, and I'm not a bammer. Okay, I'm a legit fan who analyzes, and I can remember like statistics of the game, yardage, bullshit like that, and I can
you
analyze
really
it.
appreciate the sport.
Oh yeah. You know, like those guys, like especially they've had a good year this year. You know, they had one blemish, but that game, man, they were penalties killed them against Texas A&M. But you know, like they saying it's the rematch. No, it's just another ass whooping Georgia's going to take Monday night. I mean, that's just cold hard facts.
Yeah.
They're dialed in right now. They're not losing this game.
Do you like NFL or just college football?
I like NFL. Something like I watch a few NFL games where like Monday Night Football. I watch Super Bowl, yeah, because you got to watch the commercials, man.
Oh yeah,
you got to get them commercials in.
Like I used to I used to watch football, but as I've gotten older, I don't know, it's just too stop and go for me. You know, it's like 7 seconds of action, then here comes the 45-second play clock, and here you go. They're gonna take anywhere between 20 to 45 seconds to set up a play, and then it's just another 7 seconds of action. And that's why I like basketball. It's just nonstop.
Yeah, basketball is a good sport too. Yeah. I want to go to a live basketball game, but I like live hockey.
Oh, that's the best live sporting event around.
Them
honestly.
Motherfuckers are like, come here.
Yeah, it is nonstop action, and it's bright, it's loud. It's cool. No, that's definitely better than going to a basketball game for sure. And I've had good basketball seats where it's not quite front court, but I'm only a few rows above.
Mm-hmm.
Hockey, nosebleed is still better. Still a better experience.
I went to we were on the ring. We were on the floor, our ice level at a Pensacola Ice Flyers game. We were right on the glass at that. It was pretty fun. It was a little minor league team, but it was still
badass.
I've
never heard of that team.
Nah, it was the Pensacola Ice Flyers. They're like I don't even know. They're like basically like AAA, AA.
Yeah.
And but another sport I like is bull riding.
Bull riding.
I fucking love those.
Have you tried it yourself?
Fuck no, I'm not that stupid. No, like those guys got balls of steel now, and you know, like you gotta respect them. That's athletic ability. Like a lot of those guys, one of them, the one last year who won the world championship in PBR. Hell, he's like, he's done like the American Ninja Warrior stuff. He's a soccer player. Like he's from Brazil. He's one of the baddest dudes alive.
You know what sport I used to love watching on ESPN? This might surprise you. Is those outdoorsman games you used to have? You know, where they're literally, sawing logs, for speed.
Hell yeah.
The event I like the most, I don't know, I can't remember what it's called, but the point is to, climb up this big log, right? And what they have to do is they'd have to chop with an axe and put a plank, step up on it, and then you know what I'm talking about? What's that event called?
I don't know, but them guys are crazy. That's like
I used to love watching those outdoors games. I found it so entertaining.
Oh yeah, where I'm from is also like this a big it's big in the timber. Like they do a lot of deforestation. They like to cut down fucking trees for no reason to get paper. There's also better ways to do that, but so yeah, they'll take they just clear cut all that land stuff. A lot of timber stuff going on, but that's where most of your paper comes from is Alabama.
Really, I didn't know that.
A lot of it does, yeah.
Wow.
Paper mills and stuff down there.
So I'm gonna try to keep it the fist going. You're doing fine. And just try not to get too far. So if you were thinking of going to LA, what made you decide on San Francisco instead of LA?
I had
You got a little.
shit. Napkins. I'll get one later. I had I was actually planning to move to Sacramento. I was actually seeing this guy that was living there, and things didn't work out there. And so I had a friend of mine who was living. She lives in the marina, or an ex-friend of mine. I'm not friends with that crazy bitch no more. She lived in the marina in San Francisco, and she hit me up. And I've been to her house before. I didn't know it was like a fucking halfway house for fucking idiots there. And I ended up moving in. They were alcoholics, and I lived there for a few months, and then I live in the Castro in San Francisco. So
how are you meeting all these people? You were in Pensacola. Florida. So how the hell did you meet a dude in Sacramento? How did you meet this girl?
Tinder. No, all right. So the girl I met in San Francisco, I've known her through a mutual friend that I knew back in Alabama that moved to Reno, Nevada. And she works in the gaming industry, and she was living there. She was friends with that girl that lived in San Francisco, and so I was actually in Sacramento back December of 2020, and I'd hit that girl up, and I was like, "Hey, I might ride to San Francisco. If I do, we'll hang out or whatever." And she never did message me back. Then when she did, she was asking me when I was moving out there or whatever, because that's what I told her I was doing. I was moving to Sacramento or whatever. And then she's like, I told her, like, well, that fell through. And she told me she had a room available. I was like, well, shit, how much? And she said $800. I wish I'd have did my research first, because I could have found. I actually live in a pretty cool place now, but I got out of that house. You know, it's like, I remember one morning I was dead asleep. It was like 3:00 in the morning. 2:30, 3 o'clock. Also, I start hearing loud music, and they're down there talking, being loud as hell below me. And her brother lived there rent free, smoked cigarettes inside the house, and was an alcoholic. And it's like, seriously, and they wouldn't let me smoke weed in the house. I'm like, but yeah, he's living down there rent free and smoking cigarettes, and that's against the law in San Francisco. Yeah.
Oh, you can't smoke inside?
Not cigarettes.
Even in your own home?
Or if it's a renting, if it's like a renting out place like that, you were not allowed to do that inside. And they were renting. It was a private house, but they were renting it out. And so yeah, I hated that place, but I got the fuck out and never looked back.
Wow. I mean, Jesus. When did you move from Alabama to Florida? How did that happen?
Oh, I never lived in Florida. I lived in Orlando for a little while when I was in college, like from 2010, 2011. And so Florida's right beside Alabama, like right there on, you got Baldwin County, and you got Baldwin County and Escambia County, basically side by side. And you can just drive Florida. Like it's like a little 45-minute drive to get to Pensacola from my house. And, I would go do mics over there. So
yeah, I had no idea. Most people don't know where Alabama is on the map or on the country. What's interesting is people think of the South. Alabama's definitely included, but Florida's like its own other planet.
Oh fuck yeah!
Crazy, it's almost not even a part of America at this point, right?
Well, no, the Panhandle's part of the South, but once you get past the Panhandle, that's motherfucking. That's like the Panhandle's still toothless country in Florida, and but no, once you get down there, there's still some places past that, and but yeah, Central Florida, Miami, South Florida, that's a whole different world down there.
So how long were you doing mics there in Florida?
Just a few weeks.
Just a few weeks.
And then the pandemic happened.
Yeah. So I guess you couldn't really get a good sense of what the comedy scene was like out there. Because I know some people Tom Segura started out in Florida, right? I think Bert Kreischer too, didn't he?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's a good scene. It's not bad, but I was like, I would have burned out. I've been just like another open micer down there going back and forth. But I knew if I wanted to like make it, I had to come out here to either like California or go to New York.
And then since you brought up open mics, I think I brought it up. That happened last night too. I think that's their automated voicemail thing, but it's in Taiwanese. No, because I think something you said before when we were hanging out is you really feel like a person can get stuck in a box just doing open mics.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Let's expand on that thought. What do you mean by that?
Well, like the people who you hear, like let's say, like you've seen somebody back in April or May, and they're still doing the same jokes right now. It's like, or if it's just a 5-minute set and that's all they're still doing, it's like, man. I mean, I know people they learn at a different pace, but it's like you gotta, if you want to evolve in this game. And the way I feel, you have to, what I've talked to from like different, like people who've been in it a while that are doing really good, and people who, like I got a friend of mine who's a book comic in New York. He's a well-known host in New York.
Man, you got friends all over the place, dude.
I'm nationwide.
You are. You're Mr. Worldwide. You're the next Pitbull over here.
Nah, man. So he told me, he's like, you gotta stay fresh. You gotta be writing new stuff if you want to stay good in it, and like to be kind of known, I guess, in a way.
You don't feel like you can keep writing new stuff even if you're just doing nothing but open mics?
I mean, like you can write, if you're doing like open mics, you got like, I mean, you're not wanting to get booked. I mean,
is it you? How much control does a person have over getting booked? Though I mean, it's possible they don't want to get booked, but they're not getting booked.
It's whatever they're bringing, like, to the table. It's like, anything you do, like, anything you do is the effort you put into it is what's going to come out. If you're rehearsing like 2 to 4 hours a day on your stuff, it's going to show whenever you step on the stage. It's going to show whenever you grab the mic and you do your set. And if you're not, it's going to show. It's definitely going to show people.
It sounds like you feel if you're genuinely working at it and you're improving, sooner or later you are going to escape the open mic scene.
Oh, yeah, which I love open mics. I mean, I love because you get to try new stuff out.
But if you feel like, is it fair to say that if someone's still doing nothing but open mics and they're a few years in, and then it's they're either not trying to write enough or evolve enough, or you feel this? Because I mean, that's always the challenge. Right? Is how do you get booked?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you and I, we're basically rookies at this, but
got to sell yourself.
Yeah, but exactly, it's already a concern for us. We're both in that kind of mindset. Okay, I need to start doing actual shows here.
Yeah.
Mics, but I don't know, because I feel like it's something I talked about with Denise. It's not enough to be funny. I mean, who definitely makes a difference.
It's not about who you know, it's who you blow.
Yeah. So I mean, it's I get it, but like I'll say like Newman, for instance, right? Newman's been doing it longer than any of us amongst our like inner circle of friends, right? But he only really started getting booked within the last like 2 months. And then
we had the pandemic going on too.
But is that really on him that he couldn't get booked?
I mean, if you're not,
why he didn't get booked, he's working on his material, and he's doing good.
Oh yeah.
But for some reason, he just couldn't get over that hump yet, where he could start getting booked. I feel like it's starting to happen for him.
Oh, definitely.
A little bit now, right?
Oh yeah, everybody's starting to get booked. Like it also, you just got to get those videos recorded or just a recording of your set and just send it out. Just it's like shooting your shot, man. You just gotta send it with no regret, and hopefully you're gonna get an answer back. If not, what's the worst thing gonna say? No.
So you feel like to a certain extent, then it's still somewhat within your control because there's nothing to stop you from trying.
Oh yeah, yeah. You just gotta like every show. I mean, like. I've been told by I sent a video into like that time I was sending a video. I got a video I've been sending to like different show people that's got me booked at every show just about. And I sent this one guy and he told me that it was just a 10-minute video.
Oh yeah, the one I got booked at.
And this motherfucker said, "I need a strong 12." I'm like, "You dumb motherfucker, a strong 12? I'll give you a strong 12. It's called me not showing the fuck up at your damn show."
It was a great show, honestly.
I
had a great time, Eric. It was a great show. I had a great time. I mean, I remember thinking about it. Like it's like what I told you, because I know the video I sent in was on 12 minutes.
Yeah,
it's like 10 and a half or a little bit under 11, right? But like you could see that I can easily. It's not going to be a big hurdle for me to add on another 30 seconds.
Oh, definitely.
Especially, So, I mean, my thinking was it could be that he just already had a lot of white guys, on his roster.
Yeah.
And maybe he just didn't need another white guy he wanted to add.
Good,
you never know why people...
But I'm not white.
well, you're a high yellow. That's right.
I'm kidding, man. I mean...
we never truly know why we get booked or why we don't get booked. Right?
Oh,
Who
yeah.
knows what they're looking at. Like, I know, Tasha and I produced that show for the 22nd, right? And I was in charge of booking the con because I know one reason I would say that I didn't put you on the roster because you already had Wally's show that was coming up. So it's like I wanted to give the opportunity to someone else
who doesn't
have that, right? So like that was like my criteria. And my criteria was I was trying to book people who normally don't get booked.
Yeah.
To try to help them, get up to that next level where they can start doing, paid shows.
Uh-huh.
So who knows why people are, deciding not to book a certain book.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't take it personal. So that's why, when people are stuck in the open mic scene, I don't necessarily hold it against them because who knows why they're not getting booked. But that being said, I think it's. I mean, we all know there are people out there who have been in the open mic scene for fucking 5 years.
fuck yeah.
At 5 years, it's like, okay, how hard are you really trying here, buddy? Right?
Exactly. Well, like I'm still gonna go to open mics. It's just
No, but if that's
like,
all you're doing
oh
still
yeah.
at 5 years, you're telling me you can't get booked at any independent shows at all?
Yeah, I know. Like they either they're not making connections. Like I remember first time I ever went to Alameda, like back in April. I didn't know nobody, man. I had two of my coworkers. They came and watched me, and that was it. Like I was I was nervous as hell. But after that first show, I met Wally, and then I started meeting other guys. I met Jamar, and just started getting introduced to a lot more people. I met you, and just how it goes, man. You start meeting everybody. It's like an effect. Once you get like talent recognizes talent, and like once you get the ball rolling, it's all it goes.
You think it's talent, or do you think it's more so you recognize the people who are genuinely giving it an honest try?
Oh, yeah.
They're really working at it. Because to me, like, we're so early in the game. Like, is it even possible to tell who's gonna be good or not?
I mean,
there are late bloomers. Like, you hear about Sebastian Maniscalco, who sells out the Madison Square Garden. They said when he was passed at the Comedy Store, he sucked for like 3 to 4 years.
Oh yeah.
And then he figured out. I mean, he already got past at the Comedy Store. So imagine us. We're basically comedy babies at this point. Like, who knows who's, there's someone who could be sucking so bad right now, eating shit on stage, but 4 or 5 years from now, they might be like way better than you and me. They're
Oh yeah. Well, it all depends. Like I say, you just got to keep putting that work in. Like here's my philosophy on it. It also goes back like when I used to tournament bass fish. I had a few zeros where like you go out there and you don't catch a damn fish all day. You don't bring nothing to weigh in because like you're only supposed to bring 5 fish. I know 5 don't sound like a lot. It can be a lot. You might only get 5 bites all day. But like I told myself, never gonna have that happen again. So like I just started practicing more, started putting in the work, learning different stuff on different places. And same thing with comedy, man. You bomb a few times, you don't want to bomb again. So you keep going back to that book and you keep writing new stuff and new material, trying to push the limits, trying to create stuff like, how it is, man. I mean, you just got to keep pumping it out. It's hard to make people laugh.
Do you think it's like within the open mic circuit? Do you think it's obvious, like who's really trying to work hard at it? And who's
Oh
not?
yeah.
You do?
Oh, you can tell. Like you can tell. Like you see the people like people that go up there and they bring like they're reading off their phone or their notebook, something like that. Sometimes, like I try to. Like all I do is I go up there, I set my phone on the table, and I got a timer on it. That's to help me out. But like I whenever I'm practicing my sets, I got my TV's got a big timer on it, so I got a big.
That's how you practice at home.
Like yeah, when I'm rehearsing, that's how I run my time. I make sure because I'm like like a lot of people they get scared when they see that light, or if they get a light and they rush their last minute. I don't even care about that fucking light because I know my shit's tight. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess, oh man. Yeah, I guess I have to agree with you. It is pretty obvious who's taking it seriously and putting in the work.
Yeah.
Even if, because that's the thing, like, I have respect for anyone who's genuinely trying. They might not be funny right now, but you see them really putting in the work.
Oh, definitely.
Right? You see them going up. I was like, oh, their bit was a little bit different this time. They're fucking around with it. They're trying to make it better. Okay, that's cool. I respect that. And then I guess you see people where it's like, wow, that fucking joke again. Like at an open mic. It's like, oh, well, what is the point of doing that again and again at an open mic?
Exactly. Like we're also getting at like on open mics, like where Patrick will say like, if it's not funny, don't tell it again. Don't try to keep pushing it. And like, I've had a few jokes that I told back in the summertime when I first started out that I thought were funny. They just went over the top of people's head. It's like, if they're having to sit there and think about it that much, it's not going to work. Or like if you hear like the late reaction on a laugh, that's good in a way, but I want that pow.
Have you murdered yet? Where you really murdered the whole room?
Last Thursday night at Alameda.
Really?
Yeah,
So it was a complete opposite of the 6 p.m. crowd. Because I told you guys on that text thread, oh man, that 6 p.m. crowd is tough.
like I said, the crowd. I brought the crowd. I finally brought an audience for me that night. But
Were they all coworkers or friends? And
friends, coworkers.
Oh, that's awesome,
My
man.
boss was there and all that. And he even hell, we were at lunch today. I got to talk to him because he wasn't there at work on Friday. But he's like, man, because he's seen me when I first started out. He's like, man, you're like a totally different comedian
yeah,
up
you
there.
evolved a lot, man. That's what I say. You're the one. I always point to Clayton really worked on it, and because you're a completely different comic
Oh,
when I
yeah.
first saw you. So you had a great set then.
And where else?
I'm assuming everyone did. But you brought 8 people. To the comic, so that always helps.
Yeah, it was good, and I guess at the compound and shit. When we go over there back when you remember them days back when it was big crowds and shit at the compound. Oh yeah, the night whenever that Miss Ninja was her first night there,
Oh,
she
my
brought that
God.
whole
Yeah,
crowd,
yeah. Oh,
and
my
they loved
God.
me. Like I was there talking to her aunts and stuff like that. One of them snickered, said something about, I bet he lost his teeth because of smoking crystal meth. And I was like, no, bitch, I didn't lose my teeth because of that.
We all did great that night.
It was
That
great.
was a fun night. That's probably one of the highlights of my short-lived stand-up journey so far. Because, yeah, I mean, fully packed house. They were just biting.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was fucking fantastic. What's weird? Because I know you still do Alameda Comedy Club fairly frequently. You're able to get
Yeah,
on, right?
yeah.
For me, that was my first time back in a month and a half.
Oh shit.
Maybe as much as 2 months. So it felt weird for me getting back there because the last time I was there, I was still at that point where I was telling Denise this, where Alameda Comedy Club is kind of like the pinnacle for me. Like it's one of the few places I could go where there's an actual audience. But a lot has happened, in the past month and a half, 2 months for me, where I've been able to perform in front of real audiences. I've been given the opportunity to do 10, 15-minute sets.
Oh yeah.
So it felt a little bit weird coming back that for so long. It's like, oh wow, I'm only doing 5-minute sets. And then I looked at the crowd, it's like, I do other shows where there's more people, non-comics than this.
Yeah.
It kind of, twisted my view on that open mic at Alameda Comedy Club a little bit. Obviously, you had a great audience and people turned out. So
Because I told everybody as soon as I found out I was on, I was like, hey, I'm here. This is I was like, I need people to show up. But I thought it was going to be a competition, man. And
really?
well,
What made you think that?
because that's what fucking Patrick said. He
Oh,
said
really?
he was going to take the top 3 from each show, from the 6 o'clock and the 8 p.m. That's what he said on the Facebook post, and he ended up. Like I said, he didn't tell y'all this was his last show at the
No, he
6.
did.
He did?
Yeah.
So, yeah, whenever he got to the 8 p.m., he's like, yeah, we're not doing the competition no more. So, it's like, what the fuck? And,
I forgot about that competition aspect. Shit.
I was planning to win that.
Yeah,
That was my
yeah.
goal. I was coming in hot. And I feel like, everybody, they were going to brag, saying all that. But I feel like, honest to God, I fucking killed that shit. Because, I like laughing along with the crowd, man. Especially, fuck, what am I going to do? Stand there like an idiot with a deer in the headlights? No, I'm going to laugh with them. That shit's funny.
I forgot that it was a competition because I came in there. I basically did 2 bits, and one of the bits I haven't done in 2 months. I was like, oh, you know what? Let me dust this off and see if it actually works. Because I don't think I ever tried it in front of non-comics. So I was like, okay. But yeah, definitely not a good idea if it's a competition to be doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I completely forgot. Oh my god, that's probably my weakest showing at Alameda Comedy Club.
I want to
Ever.
get booked there. I even told Patrick, I messaged him. I was like, hey, my goal is this was back in December. Because I thought I had a great show there a few weeks before. Actually, it was either 2 weeks or the week before the Christmas show, and I felt like I killed him then. I was like, man, what do I got to do to get on the showcase? What do I got to do? And he's like, that's when he kind of told me, he's like, kind of give me a couple pointers, stuff like that. He's like, you just got to keep writing original material, and I worked on that. And, I was looking forward to it, and I was hoping I'll get to go on the weekend, but I just got to keep working at it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what's gonna get you past over there? Because even Colin's not passed yet, right? Someone like Colin's not passed yet. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Patrick just has a certain taste, or maybe he's just looking at his whole roster. He's like, you know what? I already got that kind of comic. I need something
I'm
different.
unique. I'm like a unicorn out there.
We're all unique, but I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, when you're booking a show, you're looking at so many different things, So who knows? Because to me, Colin's a fucking fantastic comic. For those of you who don't know, Colin Casados is who I'm talking about. I mean, to me, Colin is just so quick, especially when he's doing audience with crowd work.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, he's so fucking quick. And if he's not past that Alameda Comedy Club yet, right? It's like, so who knows, what it's gonna take.
I don't know. I mean, like, I'm just gonna keep doing my thing. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
That's all you can do, right?
I'm not really worried about it. The only reason I want to get booked there is because it's a spot in the Bay Area. It's like, man, it's kind of like a job security thing. If you do make it to the level where you're getting booked at like the Punchline, at Cobb's, or anywhere, just like anywhere throughout the Bay Area, even like the West Coast side, it's a place that, hey, they book kind of people who are doing their thing. So you never know. Like
that's all of our goals, right? Is to get past that, the big clubs, Punchline.
Oh,
Cobb's,
definitely.
Tommy T's, Alameda Comedy Club. Because at that point, we can legitimately say we are a full-time working comic.
Yeah.
Like, if someone asks you what you're doing for a living, you can say without any hesitation, I'm a comedian. I definitely can't say that right now.
Nah.
I am a comedian, but if people ask me what I do for a living, I can't say that I'm a comedian without, feeling like a little bit of a phony.
Exactly.
Because that's not how I make my living yet,
Yeah. I mean, I have been getting paid here lately. And,
I know, but are you making a living?
Nah.
Yeah.
I made enough where I can buy probably like a half ounce of weed. That's about it.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. So, but when you're at the point where you're past the clubs, I feel like you can make a living at it.
Oh yeah,
point, right?
I want to pay my bills doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that's the goal for all of us. And I was talking to me and Dave about that because sometimes I feel like maybe, like, I don't know about you, but personally, maybe I'm a little too focused on getting booked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe, you know what, I just need to chill the fuck out and just focus on the craft.
Oh yeah.
And the booking will come. But I just can't help it. There's a part of me like, no, fuck that. I'll make things happen for me right now, and I'll focus on the craft too. It's not an either or thing, right?
Well, like, also, like, I've learned too, the quality of the show you're getting booked for says a lot, man.
Yeah.
So like,
I
got booked for a show that actually Thursday. I was supposed to show up. I was supposed to do this show before I went to Alameda, and it was after looking at the location. It was in the Tenderloin. I'm not going to say names, but the show was in the Tenderloin, and I'm like,
15 minutes, right?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not about to fucking go show up and do this. There's not even going to be a crowd there. There ain't nobody going to fucking show up to that. So I'm like, I'm put all my eggs in the Alameda basket. I was like, if they even say anything, I'll just say it's COVID related.
It paid off.
Yeah. And so like, I went over there and I had a good show, but also like, I got booked for a show a few weeks ago, and we were in a park in Oakland. It was supposed to be.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It was a great, like, we were all supposed to get
Jamar Newman did it, right?
Yeah, we were all supposed to get like 10 minutes. I think I know for a fact I run the light because I looked at my watch. I was like, all right, it said like 4:18, 4:19. I was like, okay. When I finished, it was like 4:31, 4:32. I was like, all right. I opened it up great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as you're doing good, I mean, they let you go, right?
Oh, yeah, they didn't care. Well, I kept seeing the dude do this right here with his phone. I think he was like trying to show the light, but the light never came. I was like, I ain't see shit.
I mean, he was just scratching himself.
I couldn't see nothing.
So that was a fun show.
Oh,
was
yeah.
It a good turnout?
It was pretty good. No turn. There was a few people that just wandered by and sat down and listened to us, but nah, it was shitty.
Yeah, that's the tough part about putting shows together is getting people to turn out.
Oh yeah, well you got to remember like the greatest promoter of all times, Mr. James Brown said, you got to book, you got to burn the streets. So you got to like look at Pam Benjamin, she's in my opinion one of the best promoters like for doing shows because she's gonna post it everywhere. Yeah, I guarantee she's probably putting stickers and shit in the bathroom stalls. Yeah. She want everybody to see while they're taking a shit.
Yeah, I did one of her shows a few weeks ago at Atlas Cafe.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was probably like 16 people there, which for an outdoor show on the sidewalk of a cafe. Hey, well at least we had an audience,
Yeah.
And they were appreciative. I was like, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I'll tell you, like I had a thought pop in my head. One of my favorite like open mics, like start go to it now is like all like And one of my favorite places like do open mic in the city is like the Eagle, the SF Eagle. It's the
You like that?
I fucking like it. Go to the Eagles. I can say whatever the fuck I want to on the mic.
Don't you do that anyway?
Oh yeah, I actually did the showcase there back in November or whatever, December, 1st December. I can't remember. It was sometime during that, and I was in the showcase there. But that's a fun place to do an open mic in the city. Shit, where was I going with that?
No, I mean, because you said you feel like you can say whatever you want.
Oh yeah.
Don't you just do that at any place? I know I do. I just say whatever the fuck. You know?
I do say, but I guess more premeditated whenever I'm going to like actually do like a legit show. Like I say, if I'm going to Alameda, because that's not going to be. I know the crowd's not a heckling crowd, or it's not play because I can't even see the crowd because you're blinded by the lights up there. He's got motherfucking auditorium lights in a fucking closet room, and it's like it's blinding up there on the stage. Yes, and you can't see the crowd. But like when I go to places like that where I can see the crowd, I can mess with them. Like
so you're saying like
you can
it gives you more options to do crowd work.
Yeah, that's
whereas at Alameda you can't do it because you can't see them.
And also like I've been to like a bigger show where there was like a heckler in the audience, and I watched Patrick go out there and slip her a note telling her basically shut the fuck up, like be quiet. This is not this kind of show. You don't like.
Have you had a heckler yet?
No, yeah, a few of them. Like dangerous sweatpants. I had that night. I've had a heckler, and which like mainly I've not had bad hecklers yet. Like I remember like when I first started out, some dude like he's like 6'9". Have you ever seen the show Hoops on Netflix?
No.
The Wheeler Walker Jr. He wrote it.
Wheeler Walker Jr.
All right, so it's his show. He wrote.
Okay.
And there's a dude who's like on the team. He's like he reminds me of this dude in the real life form. Number was like 6'8", 6'9". And I remember I was up there and I was talking about my height. And he's like, "How tall are you?" I'm like, "Dude, shut up."
Okay, so I mean, as heckles go, it's not that bad.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm surprised too because I remember when I first started thinking about doing stand-up, one of the things I was afraid of is getting heckled. But to my surprise, it hasn't really happened yet.
Nah, and then when
like
it does,
a real heckle where they're like negative and trying to basically ruin the show. Hasn't really happened to me yet.
Nah, I haven't had that either yet. Well, I had that one lady that snickered under her breath and said, "I bet he lost his teeth because of smoking crystal meth," and I was like, "No, bitch, I didn't lose them because of that. I was born without them. It's called white trash DNA," and like I just got killed, and but. Like if you can turn it a bad negative into a good positive like that, yeah.
Yeah, are you surprised that you haven't run into like a true heckler?
If I do, I'm gonna roast the shit out of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make them wish they got it.
Didn't you expect to? I know I expected to run into them more.
Not yeah. I mean, I know it's gonna happen. The more crowds you get, where more people are drinking, alcohol gets involved, and yeah, it happens. People don't know how to shut their mouth. They think that they're the comedian.
Oh man, I was doing this mic. You ever do the one in Concord, the Office Cocktail Lounge?
Nah, not yet.
It's actually a great spot. Ryan Rodriguez runs it. He does a great job of hosting, and there's always people in the bar. Whether you can get them to pay attention to you, well, that's the challenge, right? But that's how you build the skill set. But I was there one night, and it was probably one of the rowdiest crowds I've ever performed with. They just would not pay attention. And the first two comics that went up, they gave up about 1 minute into their set. The first two comics. I've never seen anything like it.
I should have been there.
It's just like, after a minute, the comic just started shaking his head and handed the mic back to Ryan. And then the second comic did the exact same thing.
Who was hosting?
Ryan Rodriguez. He's great. He's fantastic host. He's a good comic too. And then the second comic did the same thing. After 1 minute, just started shaking his head and handed the mic back to Ryan. I was like, I couldn't believe it. It's like, come on, you already made the effort to come out here. At least finish yourself. Try to salvage something from it.
Right? They now speaking of that, where was it we at? I was at someplace. I've had kind of that same thing where it was at Pacifica that night at Longboard. Whenever I went up, the crowd, they done got lost. It was like a roar was happening. That's all you could hear. But I remember as soon as I told my first joke, everybody laughed and they went, shh. I was like, good, y'all shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you had your work cut out for you that because there were some stinkers that went up before you.
God damn, that was the whole, everybody bombed.
That one girl.
Oh my, the girl after you was like, Well, they were hyping her up like, oh, she's from this city. She's a native. It was like, Jesus Christ.
No, but there's this, I don't remember her name, which is good because I don't want to name her. But she came up in like a fur coat or something that night.
Wasn't she like licking the mic or something?
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
God. That's why I put on the condom.
I couldn't believe that. It's like, and she wasn't doing good. You know, and I think she might have gone up before me at Alameda this past Thursday.
Shit.
It was bad. It was already a tough crowd to begin with. And then she just, you know, made it even more of a dead zone.
Oh
it's like,
my God.
oh wow, I've really got more work cut out for me. It's like, I think it might have been the same person because that fur coat looked really familiar.
Did she do this right here with the mic?
No, but this particular person was, she was just playing on how sexy she was. You know, the way she walked up there, she was wearing like a midriff and everything, and the way she delivered everything was just like she was trying to count on her being attractive. It's like,
Yeah.
one, you weren't that attractive. You're okay, but like if you're gonna use that to your advantage, like you gotta be really hot.
Yeah, you gotta
can't
be
just
able to be funny.
And then she just wasn't funny at all, too. I was like, oh my God, it was an interesting experience because the night before was that show at Gilman Brewing, right? Where I had a great showing, felt fantastic. You know, there was just 4 of us, and I went up right before the headliner, and I did great. I think I did 15 to 17 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And then the next night, I had that experience at Alameda. It's like, wow, what a complete, opposite.
Oh yeah.
It's like, man, maybe I should have just stopped my week on Wednesday, but that's the way it is, Sometimes you do good, sometimes you don't. And who knows why? Like I said, I was trying out material that I hadn't done in a long time. Maybe I need to work on that material more or cut it out.
Well, like I still like going to Mutiny Radio. I like going there. It's a
Do
good
the Monday or the Friday?
Friday. I don't need to work with anybody on my jokes. I'm sorry. I don't need nobody fucking critiquing my shit. Okay, I know my shit's.
My take on that is this, because I come from a filmmaking background. Feedback is crucial. It's a crucial part of the process.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not just gonna take feedback from anybody.
Especially somebody who's not funny.
And so that's why like something like that doesn't really like appeal to me. And I feel like, especially here at the beginning, I feel like like figuring it out on your own. That's kind of part of your growth, right? That's part of the process. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily want the problems or the connections made for me, and I want to struggle and figure that out on my own.
Yeah.
At least the lesson will last in here. I'll really learn it. As opposed to someone telling me right away, oh, that's how you make this better. It's like,
whenever they can't even write their own jokes, they want to critique somebody. But to each their own. I mean, if I was first starting out, it'd be great, something to go check out. But I've learned real quick, you're gonna be like, you got to be the one writing it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, unless you got I've helped out a few friends write jokes, stuff like that, and it's great too, like getting to watch, like especially if you get to help people out and like they use the jokes that you wrote and they go up there and like they kill. It's always good. Like I helped Denise out in the Hates debate, and she went up against the fucking heavy here. She went up against Ryan Goodcase, and dude's like, I don't know if you got to see him perform yet or not. He is definitely worth watching. He just won the San Francisco comedy competition, and dude he's sharp.
And Denise held her own.
Oh, Denise tied him. She should have won that shit. Yeah. But he had people there for him, and she had me over there. She had a group there for her too. But she took in she opened up. Like I told her, I was like, you need to do this right. You need to go ahead and call him like a school shooter or something right off the gate. And that's what she did, and it fucking worked. And like just going at him like that, and had knocked it out.
So you have that roasting ability in you, huh?
Oh, I want to do some roast battles one day, yes, and
because it's definitely it's a different comedy muscle.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like I'm not sure if I have it.
You get picked on a lot when you were a kid.
Not really. No,
you don't got
it. Yeah, I never really got picked on
if you
too much, and the ones who did pick on me, I just fought them, and that stopped that.
Oh yeah, like I got bullied. I mean, believe it or not, I've been bullied when I was growing up.
Yeah, because when you're kids, you bullied the Jolly Green Giant, right?
Oh
the
yeah.
Big,
And like you learn how to, whenever people verbally insult you, you learn how to fight. You either learn how to pop back at them, or you take them to be a bitch.
Yeah, because those hate debates thing, it's not just roasting, but they give you a specific topic.
Oh
yeah, that's a very difficult skill set.
Well, I'm on it this week coming up, the 11th on
This
Tuesday.
is going to be your third time doing it?
Second time. First time, literally Connor texted me. He's like, "Hey, you want to do the debate 10:26 that morning?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not? What's my topic?" I literally got a few hours to write down a set. I went up and I won, and it was great. It was good. I was December versus July, and I ended up winning mine. So it was pretty cool.
How does it work? Is it like you guys do one joke at a time, or is it you do your 5 minutes and then the next person does their 5 minutes?
So you get 2-minute rounds. You get a 2-minute round, first round, and you go up there. You get to defend So I'm going up against Spencer Devine. He's a pretty funny guy. I've watched him debate a few people, and he's won every one of them I've seen him do. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. And I know he brings a lot of energy, and I'm looking forward to bringing mine. And I got it when I come on the stage, and I'm gonna bring it. And I'm getting to debate is city versus country, and I'm country, and I got about 20 plus years experience of living out there.
Yeah, they basically lobbed you a softball and you just knock it out of the park.
I'm like, hey, I'm about to fucking rape it. It's like, It's like if you ever partied in the country, shit, you go with rednecks, you can go you can do anything you want.
They couldn't have given you a better topic, basically.
I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do this right here. I'm gonna be like, hey, everybody, start making a lot of noise. You know what that is? This is what it's like living in the city. All right, everybody, shh, get quiet. Shh, y'all hear that? Exactly. That's what it's like out in the country. Get them quiet.
Is it really that much of a difference?
Oh, it can be like you can get out in the woods away from roads. It can be silent as night. It can be quiet, very definitely quiet, scary quiet.
All right, Clayton, we've done well over an hour, so this is a good place to start. Goes by quick, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Shoot, we've just been shooting the shit.
I know you wanted to do something like this in your room, right? Because you said you had a perfect room with a great backdrop.
Oh, I got the late show, man. The city lights
is that something you're going to be putting together anytime soon, you think?
I mean, yeah, I'm thinking about it because, I'm seeing how the setup is. This is a pretty simple setup. Just I want to do because I gotta remodel my room and stuff like that. Yeah. And but yeah, a little ways. I got enough room in there to kind of do something like this.
Yeah, let me know when you get it started, man. I'll be happy to be a guest on that thing.
Definitely.
So where can people find out where you're doing stand-up comedy next, Clayton?
They can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is _tootall TOOTALL and 6969. That's one of my favorite numbers. And if you watch the new MacGruber, that's his favorite numbers as well.
There you go. Threw in a plug for MacGruber on TikTok, folks.
But you can take, and also I'm on Instagram. I'm on Snapchat. It's my Snapchat's FishLA521. I kind of do my stories on there.
Are you on TikTok yet?
I got TikTok, but I just post random shit. I've had a few TikTok videos go viral. Yeah. That was at my old work. I had a couple hundred. I've had 100,000. I haven't had 1 million views, but I've had a couple 100,000 views and a couple thousand likes.
Do you think as comics that's something we need to jump on in order to build our audience?
There's a lot. There's people who do TikToks, and then there's people who try to get from TikToks and go into the stand-up world. And I've seen a few of them in open mics, and they're not good performing in front of people. They're like they are on a camera.
But do you think it's necessary for us to build our own audience of people? Because as now that you're doing shows, you see how important it is to be able to put butts in seats.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Right. And if you're if you're not marketing, if you're not telling everybody that personally, hey, come watch. That's what I do. If I know I'm at Alameda, I got a crowd I can bring, and I'm starting to build it up in the city where if I know if in a big spot, I can bring people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just.
I feel that's why I encourage you to do the conversations that you want to have in your room like that, because I feel that's why I'm doing this. I think you do it long enough consistently. It's a great way to build your own audience.
Oh, yeah.
You can actually sell tickets to your shows. Because I know even way before I became a stand-up comic myself, people are very interested about the world of stand-up comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they really kind of want to they want to sneak behind the scenes, the curtains, like, oh, what is it like? And how does it? So I think you can definitely. Well, I mean, who knows?
Well,
you
I
never
like.
know what catches on, but you enjoy doing it anyway.
Oh, definitely.
That's
And
the thing. I enjoy doing this anyway too. That's why I do it.
And I like getting the likes on social media. I mean, like if I post something on Instagram, I get 100 likes. I've had pictures get 1,000 likes and shit like that. But that satisfaction of a live audience or just in person doing something, it's a lot more kind of meaningful than social media, because that's just fictitious. I mean, that's just at the end of the day, if that phone goes away, you ain't gonna be back on social media. And that's like, it's always better in front of people.
Yeah, it's better in front of people for sure. But my take on it is, you have that big social media following them so that you're able to sell tickets.
Oh, yeah.
People do come to see you live, right? Because I mean, it's undeniable. The stand-up comics who have a successful podcast. I mean, that'll make your career right there, because that's your ticket sales everywhere you go, right? They're just from that successful podcast, right? Because I feel like even like Jay Rich, Jay Rich, right? Yeah.
I mean, I think I've seen him.
You know of him. You know who he is. I remember he posted something on Bacon before, like, yes, it's important, to be funny, keep working on your craft, but it's just as important to be able to put butts in seats. It is a business, at the end of the day, because, I'm not going to name the place, but you've done 2 shows now at a place where no tickets have been sold, and at the end of the day, that doesn't really get you anything then, right? You're performing in front of an empty room.
Yeah. Well, it's like the way she said, like, it's a workout room. That's what they call it. I mean, you done the open mic part of it, and it's a work. You're basically going up there, and you're holding the mic in front of an empty room. I get the same. Like, that's where I was getting it too. Like, doing all these open mics, I get more out of being in my room, getting to run my set over and over and over and over again.
Well, I mean,
and I'm good.
Sure, the open mic portion of it should be a workout room.
Oh, yeah.
But not the feature showcase.
Nah, people should be there. Like,
like, come on.
But that's also, like, me too. I'm not promoting it, but that's not my job to promote the show. I'm not a promoter. Mm-hmm. I mean, now if it is my show, I'm going to promote the shit out of it. I'm going to go put flyers up and down the streets. I mean, I'm going to be knocking on people's doors.
I mean, I think that's one the promoters do always appreciate if you put the word out, if you're going to be on. So why didn't you put the word out for that specific one?
Which one?
I don't want to name it. I'm not trying not to name it. But the one where I did the open mic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I post, like, on my Instagram story, like, I'll say, hey, I'm going to be here tonight. This is where I'll be. If they want to show up. I mean, it's a late show, too. It's a 10 o'clock show on a Thursday night. Not a lot of people are going to want to be out on it because they got to work on Fridays. But I know, and with COVID as well, too, and that bar is not really a hopping bar. I
mean, it is hard to... Because, we put that show together on December 22nd, and we can only fit 16 people in there. And we packed it.
Yeah.
But, man, it was not easy, just getting 16 people to go. I mean, mind you, it's the holidays, too, and it's different, right? It's a small room. So, I mean, I guess I'm just repeating myself here. Yeah, it's important to have your own following, your own audience, so that you can sell tickets.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to make a living at it if no one's buying tickets.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I don't know how much tickets Wally sold that one we're supposed to all do on the 30th. But I mean, like, I know that was supposed to be a good show.
I think last I asked him, it was at 25.
Yeah.
I think 25 people. It's still. What's funny about that place is when I told him, "Hey, I bought my tickets. My wife and I are going to go." Mm-hmm. He told me to bring my own chairs because they only have 20 chairs.
God dang.
What? Even though it could fit more than 20 people, but they only have 20 chairs.
God damn.
So okay, we're gonna be there in picnic chairs, So
you got the lawn chairs.
Yeah. So, I wasn't expecting to hear that. Bring your own chairs to a show.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to going to that show too.
Oh,
I'm sure. I mean, you're more bummed you were gonna be on it. That's gonna be a big show, though, man. You got Felix Terry on there. You got Andrew Arolfo, man.
Felix is pretty funny.
With some big names, man. That was a great opportunity for you there.
I remember the first time I've seen Felix, it was at Alameda. I walked in, the dude, he was taking a shit in the bathroom. There's like, the crack in the door. Motherfucker, he looked through the crack at me. I was like...
Yeah, I was really looking forward to seeing him because I've only ever seen him like fuck around at Wally's mic.
That's all he does at any place I've ever seen him at.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he does a lot of crowd work, but he has actual bits too.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
I've never
seen any of his bits, so I've heard he's really funny. So I was really looking forward to watching that. I was like, yeah. Do you know when that's going to be, what the new date is yet?
I don't know, man. He said yesterday, sometime in February, maybe. I don't know. So, like, I know I got a bunch of shows coming up. I'll be at Longboard and Pacific on the 21st. I'll be at Ha Ha Comedy Club in LA next Sunday.
Are you doing the feature showcase at Longboard this time around?
Yeah. Oh, fuck
good
yeah.
for you.
I made sure of that shit. I'm like, I'm not hanging out until damn midnight.
What did you do? You told Lonnie and Jamar, hey.
I told him that night. I was like, I'm not doing this open mic shit again. Like, I remember sitting there, I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm about to go home.
All right, I know I said we would end it. We're at an hour and 19 minutes.
All right.
It's hard to stop, huh? I feel
Oh,
like we
yeah,
just keep
man.
going. I know.
We're just chit-chat.
I know, but I'm trying to keep these something more digestible because I used to do podcasts that would go on for like 2.5 hours. And,
Oh, shit.
yeah, which, I enjoy it, but it just makes it harder to manage. It's just me handling it. All right, folks, thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow Clayton.
Yeah, follow
Instagram
me.
_2tall6969. You guys can follow me at Mike So Strong.
And if you want to just type my name in ClaytonMosley, I'll probably be the first one to pop up.
There you go. Non-stop self-marketing machine. All right, guys. See you next time.
Adios.
Hey, guys. So thanks for tuning into the podcast. And a big thanks again to the fine folks at Sonity for letting us record the podcast here and for hooking us up with their delicious boba milk tea drinks. My wife, Chris, and I review boba milk tea spots all over the Bay Area. Believe me when I say that Sonity is definitely one of the best boba milk tea shops around. Make sure to follow them on Instagram at SAN as in Nancy, and as in Nancy again, A19, that's sana.na19 on Instagram. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, make sure to hit that follow/subscribe button and make sure to give us a 5-star rating to give us some algorithm love. Okay? Thanks for listening.